Hi everyone, for this week for homework, we have our homework flipbook. So, the first part is our English homework. We have our look, say, cover, write, check for your spelling words. On Monday, you either wrote them into this section of your book or you have written them into your homework book. We then have our grammar, and our grammar is going to be looking at our punctuation and capital letters and editing. So what you need to do is go through the passage of writing and you are going to edit the piece of writing. So you need to add in capital letters, full stops, commas and question marks. On the first one, we should have all edited the full stops is actually for capital letters. So where it says full stops, where I've drawn a circle around it, I would like you to use that for capital letters instead. We should have edited that in class. But you're going to read through that and add in capital letters, full stops and commas and question marks where you think they need to go. We then have maths, and we're looking at fast facts. So we're looking at our mental maths, and we're going to go through, and you're going to go through 3 times. You can do three different nights, and you're going to try and answer as quick as you can correctly all the questions, and then you're going to time yourself to see how quick you can get all your facts done. I will test you on Friday to see whether you could do them in class in around about the same amount of time that you said that you can do them on your booklet. Then we also have our geometry for maths. So using our skills that we learnt last week, we are going to use the protractor to draw the following angles onto it. If you don't have a coloured pencil, please just do it in lead pencil and label the angle. Then number 2, you're matching the angle with the example. So for the first one, you'll draw a line to which is the name of that type of angle. We are then going to look at our comprehension, and our comprehension focuses on the Washminster system, which fits into our civics unit that we are doing at the moment. So I'm going to read the comprehension and then I'm going to ask the questions and explain the questions for you. The Washminster system. Australia is a democracy. The government is elected by the people to represent them and make laws on their behalf. When the fathers of federation were deciding what sort of democracy Australia should be, they decided what aspects of the British Westminster system of government would work for Australia. They also looked at the United States, to Washington's political system, and combined aspects from each to create our own unique system of government. This is why the Australian political system is sometimes called the Washminster system. The United Kingdom is governed by a parliament and by the Queen. Parliament is made up of 2 houses. The first is the House of Commons. The second is the House of Lords. The Commons is elected by the people. The Lords isn't. In Australia, the lower house, or the House of Representatives, is like the Commons. It is elected by the people. Australia does not have a House of Lords, but it does have a Senate. The idea of a Senate is taken from the United States. When setting up their own system of government, the United States needed a political system that would federate separate colonies or states and ensure that their interests were represented fairly. Australia was faced with a similar situation, so established a Senate as its second house in Parliament. The people of each state elect their own senators. Australia has a constitution. Like the United States, the Constitution states how Australia must be governed. In the United States, the Supreme Court interprets and upholds the Constitution. In Australia, we have a court too, the High Court, to protect the Constitution. So taking that information, we're going to answer 2 questions this week. In your own words, explain why Australia's political system is sometimes called the Washminster system. So explain to me, in your own words, how this Washminster system works in Australia's political system. Okay, explain to me what we've taken from the United Kingdom, what we've taken from the US, and why we've combined it. And number 2, why did delegates decide to include a Senate in our system of government? Why did they believe it would suit Australia's needs politically? So a delegate is someone that represents the people. In this case, it was the fathers of the Federation, so the people that were in charge of the states when they set up the Constitution back prior to 1901. So why did those people decide to include the Senate in our system of government? Why would they need the 2 systems? Why did they believe it would be suited to Australia's needs politically? So we just need to answer those 2 questions. And then on the back of your homework flipbook, we're going to research the local federal member of parliament for our area. So we live in the City of Playford electorate area, and our federal member of parliament is Nick Champion. So I want you to have a look into Nick Champion, and I want you to tell me a little bit about him. Okay? Otherwise, if you don't live in the City of Playford area, you can have a look to see who your federal member of parliament is for your suburb. All you need to do is type in your suburb and then click and type in local federal member of parliament for, and then your suburb, and you'll find out some information. That is your task for this week.